Hey guys, it's KC Jilly. I've got my greenhouse back together here, but I had noticed before that some of the PVC reinforcement that I put in between the original frame had rubbed on the last tarp and caused an issue. So I'm trying to deal with that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Hi.
And Asen is helping me here. So here's what I noticed. You see this metal frame, all of this stuff came with it, right, Asen?
Yeah, it
Yep.
came with it.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, and this PVC setup here that I put in the middle was not part of the deal. Let me see if I can back up a little bit.
Yeah, I know that. That was just big.
And I got to, all right, you gotta be quiet, baby. Let Papa talk. Okay, so what I did is I got a measurement in between this guy and that guy, and the dead center is at 29 inches right there. So I made me a mark all the way over, and you wouldn't believe how far it was off. It was so far off, okay, and pushing in odd and different areas that I cut that much of the first pipe off to make it set in there right. So I've done that all the way down. You see, this one didn't need quite as much cut off. Neither did this one, okay? But let me show you how cattywampus I am here at the end. Okay, see my yellow mark? That's where it's supposed to be, and look how far it is over here. And as it goes up, sometimes it's pushing out this way or it's pushing out that way. So I'm taking that slack out and I'm cutting off the extra length, lining it up on the center mark, and that's more or less what I'm doing. So right now I'm just cheating, and I'm using these guys. These are some drillers that I had actually to go on my roof. It'll run through tin and down into wood. That's how they're designed. These are really nice ones, and they're exactly the right length where they don't poke through and go out. They go through both pipes and hold them securely, and it's sturdying this thing up quite a bit. So as you can see, when I went back, I cheated and I put frost cloth all the way down the length of this thing first, instead of putting on a shade cloth on top. I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to put that, and that ought to also help be a little buffer between the plastic and the frame. Not to mention, cold weather's coming. Okay, we finally, as a matter of fact, as I was finishing up getting this tarp and stuff on, the rain came. And it rained really hard, and it's been lightning all morning. So that's kind of the situation I'm in. I've been redoing a bunch of stuff. You can see my tomatoes and stuff. They're growing well, but looks pitiful. Things need a lot of attention here. So I'm just dealing with it for this moment. But what's gonna happen, like look at this one. This guy broke right here. You might have thought, well, that's the end of it, but look here. I got tomatoes all over the dadgum place in this thing. Just everywhere. All over. It's loaded. And so I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt here and give it a few more days, see if some of them are reddening up on me. But I can't even close and shut my door right now because of it. So a bunch of this stuff's going to get cut off. I may cut it to about knee high, and if anything comes out of it, then I'll let it keep going. If not, then they're all going down, because I need to get in here and give some attention to this garden section here too. You know, this side's got some pretty good dirt in it now, and I got my garlic growing and stuff, and that side's okay. All right, but this side over here is my original garden, and it needs some TLC real bad. I have all the stuff for it. I just got to do some house cleaning, so I'm trying to work on it before it gets too cold. So I'm going to go ahead and screw these guys, these little drillers, like I say. They're going to go in to that last one, and I'll get that thing sturdied up, and that'll help me quite a bit. Now I'll show you the outside. Now it may be overkill, but I've got this old strap here too. I'm going to get my wife to help me. You can see we're going to run it over in between every one of these areas, and that'll pull any extra slack out that wasn't there, and ought to hold it good and snug because we're getting a lot of wind. I also noticed these little Velcro windows. My old greenhouse that I had a little different setup than this one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So in this door I've got it rolled up right now, but if I rolled it down, there is a window, a little Velcro window on it, so that this thing can exhaust out. And the one I had previously had the same setup on the back, but this one doesn't have that at all. This one, you see the little windows, okay? This one's just a straight door. All right, so now the truth is I can just unzip it. That's true. And it's got a screen behind this. Let's see if I'll show you here what I'm talking about. I've got this mesh here that allows air, and that's all fine and dandy until the cold weather comes and I had to shut everything down. I just assume, I like the little window, so I don't know what I'm going to do here yet. I don't believe I'm going to heat it, but if I need to, I can. Oh man, get in there and pollinate a tomato or something, Turkey. But I've been doing a whole lot of work around here, y'all. We've got a lot of stuff coming. Everything's chaos and it's a mess. I've got some boards in here. I'm gonna figure out how I want my little paths through here and everything, but I'm working at it. One day at a time. It's total chaos. I snuck up there and cut my neighbor's limb down. It was smothering out a bunch of stuff here and kept dropping mesquite stuff. I had mesquite growing everywhere.
Yeah. I'm scared of that.
And I filled all this stuff in here. Now I'm fighting the neighbor's dog. He's a good dog, but he really wants over here because I have 2 dogs. You can see, no matter how many times I fill it in, that dude's working it back out. So, that's kind of the shape I'm in right now. I've cut all this stuff down. Wait, when these leaves fall off, this guy's getting transferred. Went ahead and put all that stuff on the ground. But I got one last little ring to go there, get that dude centered, and I'll be happy. And this is kind of, I guess, going to count for my little update for November. Today's like the, what is today, 3rd maybe? Sunday of November. And I would be at church, but my grandson, even though he seems fine, he's got some pus pockets going on in the back of his throat, and we don't want to give cooties to everybody. So I could have used the break anyway, and I figure I'll use this little bit of time here, straighten up my greenhouse. I'll show you this last little section though on my garden so you'll know what's happening until my next update 2 or 3 weeks from now. So like I say, the rain came through here. I got a couple of tomatoes coming. And you can see in here, I've also got the same idea here. I'm gonna build some little raised beds, I guess you'd call them. It's not much of a raised bed, but I'm gonna fill them in and get some good stuff in there so it's clean. I don't got to do so much work on the weeding. You can see now my yard is total chaos, y'all, but I ran through here and snipped down all the stuff that was dying and in bad shape. You see all the pile of elephant ears. I didn't even hide it from my wife this time, but I took them down. And they needed it. It was pretty bad.
Taco did that.
Oh yeah? Watch your mouth, Tara. My wife's being a smart aleck right now. All right, you can see that guy. There's so many cucumbers in that guy, and I can't have any of them. Those are the Lord's. So we'll see how this thing works out. Let this garden finish up resting. Boy, next year ought to be a good year. I have high hopes, but just growing away in here. So that's kind of how it's looking in my world. Until next time, me and Asen will see y'all later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, 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 bye.